Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I'm having a not too bad of a day. Could be a little better, but yeah, it's a little better than it was a couple days ago. Um, I don't know. Just I'm grateful for the people that do understand, what I'm going through, and I mean, I am who I am. It's what I do. When people are rude and pretend they're not, and I point it out, well, you know, I'm still getting over it, yes, obviously. So, but I did decide, well, I'm just going to get on here like I always do and just keep speaking my mind and see who can see through the shenanigans of Satan. Not even, not even mentioning any people's names. The people that he uses against me, it doesn't matter. It's always somebody. And it's always something with them because everybody doesn't have the willpower I have, you know? I mean, as far as what would you do to stop Satan? What would you sacrifice? I mean, Christ sacrificed for us. That's not my point, but literally in life, what would you be willing to give to help other people, if anything? You know, that's kind of what's on my mind. How far would people actually go? You know, I don't know. It's a beautiful day here. It's 20 degrees out. Kind of sunny right now, but it was cloudier earlier and we've got like 3 days of rain coming up and oh, I've got a hole in my hair back here. Yeah, a hole in it. When I look through, there's a one of my waves is trying to wave goodbye and go in another direction. Want to see it? It's getting long. That's just a little over 3 years. So I used to have super long hair all my life till most of my life till I got kind of sick and it fell out. So if people are struggling with your hair, it is possible to make it healthy again. There's even, I did massage therapy on Doug's head with a hammer. No, I'm just kidding. When I first met him, he was 40, 39. Well, I mean, I had seen him around for years and years, but, and other friends we knew, friends of friends and all that, but um, literally massaging the top of his scalp, and I told him, and when you're in the shower, and you're cleaning, make sure you get a lot of oxygen to your hair, because it isn't just like brushing your hair for the luster of it or anything. Why somebody with long hair would, brush their hair, but it's actually to get down to your scalp and get the circulation in there again, you know. And yeah, protein helps. And I tell a lot of people, um, I wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for whey protein. If I was not able to drink milk, when I had come out of the Mayo Clinic after I did my skincare test or to see what my allergies were, they did these two separate sets of tests where they put all these things, little squares of things under this tape on my back and left it for like a few days, and then a couple weeks later they did more um, things, to find out what I'm allergic to. And I was allergic to that adhesive they put on me for one thing, and it was supposed to be hyperallergenic. But when I got out of there, and then I had some things to pick up at the pharmacy, and my local pharmacists, I had known them for years, actually worked with them in a department store, a different one that had closed, similar to a Walmart. It was called a Pomida. And they're like, this is pretty terrible. What can you eat? And I said, well, I do know one thing's for sure. If dairy would have been on that list, I would have just went and got like a glass of milk, and I would have just committed suicide with my milk, because that would have been the end of it right there. Because I would not be strong and healthy without my dairy products. And a lot of people say, well, there, it's not good for you. And well, I'll arm wrestle you over that one. Let's see. Would you like to see? you know I'm serious. No, I love arm wrestling. It is a sport. By the way, it isn't just me being an antagonistic or nothing towards people. I wouldn't be doing it with my sore arm right now. Yeah, that still hurts. As a matter of fact, I was doing resistant training with a band that I have yesterday, and I had it on my feet, and then I have my feet spread apart a little bit, and they have handles. The one I have has handles, and I was pulling up with it like this here, and I could hear my tendons in there go click, 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 click from where I fell, where it still hurts. It's like, ooh, that's a gross sound. It's not your bones, it's literally your tendons. That's a trip. And it was, you know. So yeah, didn't expect that, but I didn't stop. I just then kind of lessened the tension on the exercise I was trying to do, and just kept doing it anyway. So, yeah. Cheers, everybody. Sure wish they would have spent money on the border instead of sending it over to other countries to protect them. There was, what they say, 176,000 fentanyl related deaths last year, approximately, um, just in the United States. And that's an awful lot. There's a lot of our kids that are dying out there from, it's not just meth, but meth's still coming across that border too. Um, Everything. It's pretty hideous, the dangers that our kids are in, and the decades that people have consumed drugs, even in the early 1900s, with coke and opium, and it was actually more available, like laudanum, even in the 1800s. Look how many generations have been medicated. And yeah, we're all trying to fill that hole where God's supposed to live. you know how well we do that, how much comfort we get, I guess, is dependent on our faith, I think. you know I mean, how much faith we actually have when we ask for something. Says nothing's impossible. So yeah, there goes that separation again. There you go. Just quit. So um, yeah, I was gonna braid it, but then I didn't feel like it. It's like anything you really do to your hair when it does start getting older, you have to. I found out I have to be a lot more careful with it. I can't comb it as much as I used to. You used to say like 100 strokes to um, keep your hair lustrous, like shiny or whatever. I think it's shiny enough even with the gray. I mean, it's healthy, but they are thicker pieces than it used to be, and the curls curl different now. Everything's a little bit different about it. You know, your hair changes, so does our skin. We can't do anything about it. But yeah, still, I wanted to see what old age on me and long hair would look like. So I'm just gonna keep growing it. Oh, the other day, what was it? Something about. Okay, let me see if I can remember this. Um, oh no, I can't remember it now. It was something about that carbon fiber thing, and I don't know. I guess I can't remember. I made some joke about when they bury me, that like the coffin was going to be short because of some reason. Maybe it wasn't the carbon fiber, but it's like my joke was like, what are they gonna do? Like bend my legs in half and stick me in there, because it was something concerning having long legs and not being a fit, like a fit for um, all kinds of stuff in life, like even taking a flight on an airplane or different things. Even like on our hot rod, um, Doug extended the firewall for my legs to go further into like the motor compartment. I mean, it's all enclosed, but you know, but yeah, maybe I'll remember what my joke was. It was something, something about that. So yeah, I took a really nice meal out besides the crunchies for my kitties out in the kitty house. I took them out mackerel and cream and cottage cheese and some leftover sausage gravy. Doug couldn't eat it all. And let's see, anything else in there? Oh, and some chicken juice because I had made chicken breast last night with mashed potatoes and stuff. So, but yeah, I took that out there, and usually the one I call Puma, she runs in the other part of their house and takes her kids with her, so they'll be scared of me. I can pet her now. It's actually just to keep the kids away from me out of jealousy. Um, their mom, Nellie, the one I have in here, she acted the same way. So she runs her kids. I said, I have a treat for you. She runs her kids into the other part of the house and runs back out there real quick to come and see what I have, sneaky, and starts eating it with Yeti, her and the um, big white one. They started eating all of it. And I'm sure the kids joined in after I came in the house. So yeah, just trying to get my lighting a little better today. Like I say, it's shiny now, but it wasn't when I first set everything up. I was trying to get the right angle. It's like, oh, whatever, I guess. You know. Yeah. So yeah, good day. Not too bad. I still haven't drank any of that brandy. I don't know when I will. I still have like from Boy, I bet it's maybe even 10 years old or more. Some red wine that I had a long time ago. And I still have some of that left. And I still have a bottle of wine a neighbor gave us, or gave to me, homemade apple wine. And another friend made, I think it's strawberry wine, gave us a bottle of that too. So that one I'm scared of because they make moonshine too. So, or used to, I should say. They moved. They lost their farm. Their parents left them a farm, and the three kids didn't work hard enough to keep it, and they lost it. I knew they were gonna too, because they had their noses so far up in the air. You know, um, riverfront property owners. So people that, and I've lived on the lake, I know what these people are like firsthand. Couldn't stand them when I lived by them either. No, these ones here were actually like childhood friends of mine. But I knew they were going to end up losing it all because of their demeanor, because of the way they operated in life. You just, there's just certain things that you can't do and think that everything's going to turn out okay, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's a rule of thumb for everything we do on this planet. And we really are serving one master or the other, you know. So if somebody thinks I serve Satan in any way, you don't know me at all. And that's okay, you know, and maybe you don't want to, but that tells me um, really who you are if you can't see in the depth of my soul. And I'm so open about everything. You're as fake as can be, then. That's all there is to it. Or there's a reason why you're not telling the truth, and that would be to benefit yourself, no matter who you run over in the meantime. And there goes them hairs again. Yeah. So, yeah. Are you looking forward to the new year, or are you afraid of it? I'm not afraid. I think what's going on in the world is really trippy. It's a lot of insane stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty to talk about. But yes, yeah, still, my heart is a little sad, but it isn't as sad as it was. I know I said that, but it's like, yeah, I really did cry. Not like out and out cry, but like when I laid down, my eyes were like dripping, you know, and I wiped them off and sucked it back in. It's like, I gotta just appreciate the ones that are going through similar things and understand. So I just have to focus on the ones. I mean, it's not that people are bad, but they can't be too good if they think I'm bad. So I don't know. I just found out that blood is thicker than water. And instead of asking what led me up to being so mean, people were ready to just throw me away without even asking for the circumstances. And I talked briefly on that, but I couldn't really explain the depth of the um, spiritual warfare that's going on, you know. And like I say, that may not have anything to do with the people at all. It doesn't, you know, who is being used against each other, you know. But I don't know. For me personally, I said some pretty heinous things after I was lied about and ignored. Now, this is a big, big deal, whether you know it or not, but there is a head Luciferian gang stalker in the United States, um, Masonically affiliated, that actually I could have got along with him even when he was making videos, but he's one of these that hollers instead of talks. And when people start yelling like that, it's like, I mean, if you have a reason to rant, okay. But if you're teaching people the scriptures, and you're not going to get by with your works alone, no matter how much works you do, and blah blah and blah blah and blah blah. I hate that. I cannot sit there and listen to stuff like that. It's like, listen, little boy, where you still a spermie in your papa when I was out here saving people, literally, you know, you can't get by on just your works, no matter the amount of works you do. And yeah, that's one part of that scripture. If you want to actually read the whole thing, there's some, but it works like this. Your works are recognized, and the more you do, the more that is appreciated. You can't do phony works, even if you do them once a week when your soul isn't in it. That's not recognized at all, just for the record, you know. So, yeah. I did get up enough bravery, and it was a brave thing to do, to let somebody go that had actually contacted me on Messenger on Facebook to try and get me to promote them on YouTube with their music and different things, because they had had their previous channel taken down. So I did. I helped somewhat. But then when I got ignored, because of course I said something that this person didn't like, and it could have even been, it was right around the time when I was talking about shared DNA and syphilis being the base of all our diseases, the germ itself, the germ that is the syphilis bug. It's not so much that it mutates; it joins. It can be accumulated into something else, like cancer, for instance, or pre-birth issues like cerebral palsy, or different things are actually stem from this. And how shared DNA from people, like if you were raped by a man and you're a man, that DNA is now in you from that other human being, and the sympathies to go along with their outlook in life is a nudging, evil stab if you try and think different than what had happened. So Satan will say, like, it's just natural, it's not a big deal, you know, where Christ in your flesh would be saying it's a very big deal and it can alter the way you think about things. Every person you come in contact with. So I'm speaking on these things and I'm trying to explain the medical issues, scientific, biological, human biology. And it's provable, it's facts, but nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to share it. And it's true. Could coming out of a mother that, say, if your mother was promiscuous, um, or an alcoholic, or a liar, or whatever, could these things be passed on to you? Could sexual intercourse with the person of that description have an effect on you? Not just the transference of demons through sexuality, but actual biological things that affect us in our lives, in our flesh, all our thoughts. And it's a true thing. So it's right about that time when I was speaking on those issues that I started getting ignored by this little boy, is how I look at it, because like I told him a long time ago, you remind me of my oldest son. And although he's a very intelligent person, I don't like him, you know. So then I think, well, I had unsubbed way back then too. So when this person got a hold of me again, I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I could just recognize the same mindset of lack of understanding of what I was trying to say in life, you know. And it has nothing to do with hatred or anything, you know. It's like these people, even we made more of a joke out of it now, but it'd be like one love, you know, because that's the new world order thing, you know. Love, 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 love everybody, no matter what. Don't say anything bad about anybody else, because if you do, and even if they've done like several things to you first, nobody's gonna ask why you got upset or you wanted to speak out against this, or why you became mean. They're just going to jump on you because you're out of the norm. You're not supposed to say anything about anything. One love, one love. And I told these people, it's like, yeah, I love you, but it's not one love, you know. But then it just sort of became a joke, and they're like, Barb Weast, one love, and I'm like, yeah, you too. You know, what the heck? You know, play your games. Who cares, you know? But then I'd go on there anyway, and they're still one loving me and with their hearts and everything. It's like, yeah, okay, to you too. Oh, little babies. Oh, okay, one love, peace. You know, so yeah. So yeah, I got up enough bravery to actually let somebody go that I love, because I'm not going to sit there and wish for understanding from people that could really care less, you know. And that's how you really find out anyway, you know. So, and it is true. And I don't care who likes who. I'm not going to put anybody down. It's like some other bozo thinks that there's freaking aliens, and it's going to be used against people. But mark my words, there's a time coming up where they're going to be taking people, whether it's for slavery or whatever it is. And they're going to blame it on alien invasion when it's just nasty human beings hurting other nasty human beings. You know, so it's going to happen, and they're going to. It's just like with the reptilian and everything. You know, they can say what you want. Say what you want. Human beings are human beings. We either carry the Spirit of God within us or we don't. And that what is then considered another species. It's all the same flesh. We're all made in the image of God, you know. So, did you know when Christ died, his spirit went into the air? It covered the air, is what the words are. Who's the principality of the air? I would think it might be a pissed off Christ that they killed. It's just a thought. Actually, it's a little more than a thought, but I give you something to think about, you know. No, don't bargain with it at all. Keep opposing with the name of God and the Christ Spirit, you know. So, well, I do appreciate you for joining me. Crazy times, huh? Yeah, just think about that shared swapping spitballs or whatever you do. Um, Careful who you hug, careful who you love. All these things, mental or physical, it affects us. It really does. Human beings are that sensitive, our bodies. And if we're hurt, even if you don't speak on it, if you're hurt, if people stab you in the same spot repeatedly, it's going to hurt and you're probably going to fight back. So if you don't have friends that are going to stand up for you when that happens, then you find out who your friends are, you know. And if that was my brother, I'd say, hey, little brother, I know you were cold. I watched you do it. There's people who watched him, and they actually know the vibe that was going on, even on his brother's live stream. I mean, not everybody's that stupid that they didn't recognize that. So, you know, you know what's true. It's the vibe of the room. And after a few times being hurt, I said something about it because I wouldn't have naturally gravitated to this person's channel. It just so happened to be a friend's brother and approximately the age of one of my kids. So I thought, yeah, I'll check it out. One time, two times, three times. It's like, wow, okay, it's not the person isn't smart, and it probably isn't that he doesn't care about things. And I could have maybe even approached things a little differently. But the third time, when I went over there and he was preaching like, freaking reminded me of a Muppet up in the corner yelling. Like you get one of them crazy Muppets out there and they're, bouncing all over like that. Well, he wasn't quite bouncing off the walls or nothing. But with his speech of righteousness, it just freaking got me. I couldn't handle any more that day, and I told my friend, I'll take down what I wrote. Just acknowledge that, you read this, and I'll not off his page. No, I was going to leave it on his brother's page, and I don't care who thinks what. It's sad, but I really don't care. If you don't care enough to dig a little deeper and ask your brother if he was being a cold hearted prick on purpose, If you don't care to ask him that words and straighten things out for him and yourself, then live with your shit and die with it too. Because this won't be the only time you've done this to people, obviously. I'm not going to be slandered and just sit still and let somebody slander me and not say anything about it. And if I lost friends, well, you weren't friends. You know, like I say, for you to go and still communicate with these people and stuff, I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me at all. I want to too, but I won't belittle myself. You know, I've already been slandered unjustly. Don't pretend you're a preacher if you can't gather your flock, you little flocker. Ers. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna leave it there today. Yeah, it's still bothering me. I guess when it doesn't bother me, it won't. You know, I'm hoping something good will come out of it, and probably the good that came out of it was people that are so different separated, because that's the way it's supposed to be, obviously. So, but one of us has a true heart and one of us doesn't. And I would venture to say a person that doesn't have a true heart would have a track record in the past of doing crappy things to people and not caring about it. And that, this, maybe say a prayer for a person that I considered a very close friend of mine. And I believe his brother jacked his life. So that's my belief. And I hope you take some time and pray about it for everybody concerned. Please do that. If you see fit to do that, I would really appreciate it. All right. Thank you for joining me. Have a really beautiful night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.